Franz Kafka was one of the major fiction writers of the 20th century. He was born to a middle-class German-speaking Jewish family in Prague, Bohemia, presently the Czech Republic, Austria-Hungary. His unique body of writing, much of which is incomplete, and which was mainly published posthumously, is considered to be among the most influential in Western literature. His stories include The Metamorphosis, 1912, and In the Penal Colony, 1914, while his novels are The Trial, 1925, The Castle, A Book Must Be the Axe for the Frozen Sea Within Us, I Am a Cage, In Search of a Bird, Don't Bend, Don't Water It Down, Don't Try to Make It Logical, Don't Edit Your Own Soul According to the Fashion. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. Franz Kafka. Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self. Youth is happy, because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. I am free, and that is why I am lost. Franz Kafka. I cannot make you understand. I cannot make anyone understand what is happening inside me. I cannot even explain it to myself. A first sign of the beginning of understanding is the wish to die. The meaning of life is that it stops. All language is but a poor translation. Franz Kafka. A non-writing writer is a monster courting insanity. Letter to Max Brod, July 5, 1922. You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Do not even listen, simply wait, be quiet, still, and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet. Franz Kafka. By believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. Books are a narcotic. Slept, awoke, miserable life. I have the true feeling of myself only when I am unbearably unhappy. I think we ought to read only the kind of books that wound and stab us. Franz Kafka. I can't think of any greater happiness than to be with you all the time, without interruption, endlessly, even though I feel that here in this world there's no undisturbed place for our love, neither in the village nor anywhere else, and I dream of a grave, deep and narrow, where we could clasp each other in our arms as with clamps, and I would hide my face in you, and you would hide your face in me. It's only because of their stupidity that they're able to be so sure of themselves. Writing is utter solitude, the descent into the cold abyss of oneself. There is an infinite amount of hope in the universe, but not for us. I have spent all my life resisting the desire to end it. Franz Kafka. I am constantly trying to communicate something incommunicable, to explain something inexplicable, to tell about something I only feel in my bones, and which can only be experienced in those bones. Basically, it is nothing other than this fear we have so often talked about, but fear spread to everything, fear of the greatest as of the smallest, fear, paralyzing fear of pronouncing a word, although this fear may not only be fear, but also a longing for something greater than all that is fearful. I usually solve problems by letting them devour me. I am in chains. Don't touch my chains. I never wish to be easily defined. I'd rather float over other people's minds as something strictly fluid and non-perceivable, more like a transparent, paradoxically iridescent creature rather than an actual person. Franz Kafka. Now I can look at you in peace. I don't eat you anymore. I miss you deeply, unfathomably, senselessly, terribly. Love is that you are the knife which I plunge into myself. I do not speak as I think, I do not think as I should, and so it all goes on in helpless darkness. Franz Kafka. This tremendous world I have inside of me. How to free myself, and this world, without tearing myself to pieces. And rather tear myself to 1,000 pieces than be buried with this world within me. As Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a gigantic insect. Franz Kafka.